Namaste.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Jagdisha ji.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste Sarvebhyah.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
How are you today?
I am all right.
Okay. I called Gurukulam bookstore. They don't have. They said they have Xerox copies or something. I said I don't want that.
Of what? The course book?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Try Amazon.
Okay.
They should be available in Amazon.
Is there a number of edition? Which edition? Which year or no?
The editions changed only volume 1 and 3. Only volume 2 has changed. Volume 1 and 3 have been same.
Okay, but okay.
I think you had the book, didn't you?
I have the books, but some of the information that you are teaching is not there.
In that case, you need only volume 2. Because that you might be having the older version.
But how do I tell them which year is it? Mine was copyright 2016.
16. I think that's a newer version for volume 2. And wait for a few days. They have ordered the books, not the Xerox copied ones. They ordered the books. They should be back.
Who has ordered?
Bookstore, Arshavidya bookstores.
I called them, but the boy didn't know much there. Really.
Yeah, let Prasanna ji come back. She's in India now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Let's start with the prayers. Share screen. Share the screen. Prayers. Om Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Mahadnisham Anekadantam Bhattanam Ekadantam Upasmahe Saraswati Namastubhyam Varadeka Marupini Vidyaramam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sah Veeryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Vakyakaram Vararuchim
Vakyakaram Vararuchim
Bhashakaram Patanjalim
Ashakaram Patanjalim
Paninim Sutrakarancha
Paninim Sutrakaram Cha
Pranatosmi Munitrayam
Tosmi Munitrayam
Atha Maheshwara Sutrani
Atha Maheshwara Sutrani
Aivun
Aivun
Riluk
Vedrik
Evong
Evom
Ayauch
Ayauch
Ayavarat
Ayavarat
Lan
done,
Nyamangananam,
yamangananam,
Jabhanj,
jabhany,
Gadadash,
garadash,
Jabagadadash,
jabagaradash,
Kapha Chatata Chatatau,
kapachatata chatatau,
Kapai,
kapai,
Shashasar,
shashasar,
Hal,
al,
Iti Maheshwarani Sutrani.
iti maheshwarani sutrani.
All right. Any questions in what we covered last class? We will continue further on the Paninian usage of the vibhaktis for special purpose or special purpose uses. Any questions
No.
from the book? Okay. That case, we will be on the same topic. The question
Jagdish, one question.
yeah.
I just looking at the Tattva in which there is use of double avagrahas.
No, that's okay. This question came up. We have discussed that. Double
Okay.
avagraha means two akaras, two hrasva akaras are missing or unpronounced, or a dirgha akara is unpronounced. Because in Savarna Dirgha Sandhi, two dirghas also will give you one dirgha only after the Sandhi.
Yeah.
So it is possible to have one avagraha or two avagraha to indicate one akara or two akaras unpronounced. Okay?
So double akara is just dirgha.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I gave the example specifically of, this is generally people don't write this, like Sudha. Okay? Ending with dirgha a, right? Sudha.
Yeah.
Akaraha, starting with dirgha a, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So Sudha plus akaraha will become Sudhakaraha. So dha has only one dirgha a. So two or the one dirgha a or two matras are unpronounced, right? To indicate such cases. Okay. In some texts, they might give the two avagrahas. But in common names, they don't use that because it looks messy. Like Sudhakara or Gunakara, all those things.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So what we are going to discuss in this class and maybe the next class and what I introduced in the last class are very, very important. Okay. This is next in importance. One thing you have to understand to go any further in Paninian application or the Paninian rules. We are just stepping into in the basic steps. The very first thing is the Maheshwara Sutras. Okay, the concept of concept of abbreviations, or what is the name for abbreviation? Pratyaharas. Okay, the concept of pratyaharas. That is a basic thing. The very first thing you have to understand to get into anything of Paninian grammar analysis. The next thing is this special uses of vibhaktis. Okay, that is what we are going to spend some time on. And these things have to be clearly understood. Otherwise, or Swara Sandhi and Vyanjana Sandhi, because we are going via Panini sutras, if you don't understand these steps, these vibhakti concepts, it will be you will not understand the later on sutra. So any doubts or any questions has to be clarified before we get into the sandhi. So I will try my best to explain as colorfully as possible. Okay. The concept of the different uses or the special uses of vibhakti. Okay. So the Panini uses in the general use of vibhakti also, but in the sutras he has additional special uses. So the general use and special use. Special use means this use of vibhakti is only in the Paninian sutras. Okay. Not even in the other, like a Yoga Sutra and other thing, even though they are in Brahma Sutra, they are sutras, all right. But this special use of vibhakti is used only in Paninian grammar sutras only, not in the other sutras. Okay. Other sutras use the vibhaktis in the normal sense. Okay, the introduction. So let me put that in the presentation mode. Everybody can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe one or two of you can keep your microphone open in case something happens and I get a feedback. Okay, so the basics of Paninian Sutras, special or meta meanings used for vibhakti in the Panini Sutras. Okay, specifically say Panini Sutras because elsewhere they have their normal meanings. Okay, so whenever we talk about a change in Sandhi, we saw it in the Visarga Sandhi. Whenever we talk about a change, there are four things. Okay. What are the four things? First thing, what is going to be changed? Okay, or the place of change, the thing that is being replaced. Okay, or thing that being changed. Okay, the changed means it may be lopa, it may be adesha, it may be agama, those things. That's the change. So what is going to change? Whatever is going to change, Panini will show it in the sixth vibhakti. Okay, this is a sutra. Panini doesn't put in anything just like that. He will write a sutra for that. Okay, so that sutra where he says the place of change will be designated in the sixth vibhakti. Okay, effectively, that sutra is 1149. Okay, I didn't want to complicate the issue, so just to give you the idea that everything has a sutra. Okay, or almost everything has a sutra. If there is no sutra, then it is very obvious. It doesn't need a sutra. Okay. So, sthaneshas, the sthani or the place of change is shown with the sixth vibhakti. Okay, that is given in Sutra 1149. Okay, so whoever have is curious, then you can look up. So 1149 says Shashti Sthane Yoga. Okay, so Shashti indicates sthana. Okay. Okay, so there is something is going to change. Okay, it's going to change into what? If it is replaced by what? Okay, so there should be some kind of an indication for that. Okay, so that replacement or whatever the result of the change is indicated in Prathama Vibhakti. Okay, for this there is no sutra because there is they're kind of a self-explanatory. Okay, so whatever is coming and taking the place of what is shown in sixth vibhakti, that's whatever the result is, whatever the replacement or the substitution, that will be written in Panini Sutras by Prathama Vibhakti. Okay. Okay. Now A is going to replace B. But there has to be certain conditions, right? A cannot always, you can't just keep on replacing. Certain conditions have to be met for replacement. Okay. When we say Shivaha Aham, the Visarga will become O. Visarga will be replaced by O and Avagraha. Okay. But it's not always. There has to be something that has to be that some conditions have to be met. Only then, only when the conditions are right, the replacement or the change occurs. The conditions are two times, right? Two types or the two places. What is the condition to be met by the Purvapada and what is the condition to be met by the Parapada? Okay, so conditions have to be met on either side. Sometimes it may be on one side, the other side may be free. It can happen. Whatever happens on the Purvapada, if the Parapada is something, that will happen, that will change. Okay, we have seen that kind of cases in the Visarga Sandhi also. Okay. So the condition that has to be met by the Purva Pada or the Purva Varna, okay, that's called Purva Nimittam. Okay, like the changes happen, the place of change or something A is replaced by B if or when this sthani, okay, the replacement, the place of change is preceded by something. Okay, so that preceded by what condition it has to meet, that is called Purva Nimittam, the condition to be met by the Purva Pada for the replacement or change to occur. That is called purva nimitta. Okay, so I give the English meaning also. The Panini used Panchami Vibhakti to indicate the condition to be met by purva nimitta. Okay, like we said in the case of Shivoham Sandhi, the purva varna has to be akara, hrasva a only. Okay, so in that case, Panini Sutra, if there's a one-step sutra, we'll see examples, simpler examples. If there's a one-step sutra, then he will indicate the akara in the fifth vibhakti. Okay, that means if the purva varna is akara. Okay, so the condition may have to be met on the paravarna also. Okay, so then there will be paranimittam. That is what the A will be replaced by B only when that A is followed by something. Okay, so that is paranimittam. Purva is prior, para is latter. Okay, so the condition that has to be met by the paravarna, this is in Sandhi, but these place indications are Panini follows it throughout the Ashtadhyaya, okay, not only in the Sandhis. So that is why it is very important to know that not only for the Sandhi chapter, even for the other chapters. Okay, so paranimittam, the conditions to be met by what comes after the place of change. Okay, so that will be indicated by Saptami Vibhakti. Okay, so this is the reason why I sent you two earlier two Vibhaktis. One is maybe Rama Shabda and another one is Marut Shabda. The difference is Rama is one is Akaranta, Marut is a Takaranta, or it's a consonant ending. You will see why that is useful. Okay, so sthani or place of change is indicated by sixth vibhakti. In all my examples, I show green color. In addition to number 6, I might mention the 6 somewhere in the sutras whenever we talk about sutra. And also I will write that thing in the green. Okay, and adesha or replacement I will show in purple. Okay, pratama vibhakti and purple. And purva nimitta, the panchami, so I will show it in blue, and paranimitta, red, I will show it in red. Okay, the condition that has to be met by what comes after. Okay, any questions till now? Anybody? We are going to give a lot of examples also. Okay, so one of you, at least one of you, please unmute, keep on unmute and answer. Okay, need some response.
I think this is clear. Thank you.
Okay, let's go further. So, as I mentioned, there is normal use of the vibhaktis, and whoever has heard the word vibhakti, unless you are totally new to the Sanskrita language, haven't come across the word vibhakti or the sense of vibhakti or the case endings. Otherwise, you will have heard about the words vibhakti and what context of its use, at least in some detail somewhere else, in another language at least. Okay. So generally, okay, let's look at the Saptami vibhakti. Okay. Generally, Saptami has the meaning of adhikarana, locus. I think we briefly talked about this in the last class. That is in the general language. Okay. In Paninian language, that adhikarana Saptami is used also, but specifically, Paninian use is called Parasaptami. Parasaptami is Paranimitta. Saptami used to indicate the Paranimitta is the Parasaptami. Okay. General use of Saptami Vibhakti is Adhikarana Saptami. Okay. Adhikarana is locus or location. This Adhikarana Saptami, there are quite a few in the class who have been exposed to this kind of thing. So how many types of Adhikaranas are there? Locus, locations. Anybody?
Place and time.
Okay, good. That's what I was looking for.
Desha, Kala. Desha, Kala.
Yeah. Desha, Kala, and Vishaya.
Yeah.
Three kind of adhikaranas. Okay, that is where Saptami is generally used outside the Panini rules. Okay, Desha Kala, like no, place is shown like Grihe, in the house. Okay, that is Saptami Vibhakti. Okay, and then we might say Saptavadane, at 7 o'clock. So that is Kalavachaka, Adhikarana Saptami. Okay. Then we can say Vyakarana Vichare, in the topic of Vyakarana. Okay, that is the subject. Okay, Vishaya. So that kind of a general Adhikarana Saptami. Whereas when I show in the red, then it is indicating Parasaptami. In the sutras also, if the sutra refers something in the Adhikarana Saptami, I won't give the red color. Okay, I will show the red color only if that word is used in the sutra as Parasaptami or Paranimitta. Okay. Same way, Shashti generally used as Sambandha Shashti. Shashti is generally used to indicate relationship between two nouns. Okay. So, for example, Dasharathasya putraha. So, Dasharatha's son. So, Dasharathasya, the sya indicates Shashti Vibhakti. If you look at the Rama table, you'll see Ramasya in the Shashti Vibhakti. Okay. So, that is Sambandha Shashti. Okay. So what we are talking about here is the Sthane Shashti, special use of Shashti Vibhakti in the sutras. Okay. Now this Avayava Avayavi is one kind of a Sambandha. I just to remind myself, I put that Avayava Avayavi. Like if I say my hand, okay. So hand is an Avayava. I am the Avayavi, one who has the Avayava. Okay. That's all it means. So Sambandha Shashti is the general use of Shashti, Sthane Shashti, the special use of Shashti only in the Paninian grammar. Okay. Same way, Adhikarana Saptami is the general use of Saptami, whereas Parasaptami is the special use of Saptami Vibhakti only in Paninian grammar. The Purva, same way, so Purva Nimittam, you can say Purva Panchami, the Panchami Vibhakti used as a special use to indicate Purva Nimittam. Okay. And generally in the Paninian rules, the Apadana Panchami, that is general use of Apadana, there is no need for using that, so it's rarely used. Okay. Okay. Another concept in the Panini Sutras is the concept of Anuvritti. Okay. Anuvritti is just like follows. Okay. It's like suppose there is a word which is mentioned in a sutra. In the later sutras, suppose there is a set of sutras later on, which have to use the same word, then Panini will not use that word in every sutra. Okay, he will use it in the first one, and then whoever comments on the sutras or discuss the sutra, then he will bring that word. This is like using the commas or ditto sign in any other. From the previous line, you just put 2 commas, means that you just borrow that word or that number from the previous line. Okay, Anuvritti is just that. Okay, comes from some sutra before. So whenever we talk about the sutra, then we will see what are the actual words of the sutra and what has to be brought down or borrowed from the previous sutras as Anuvritti. Okay. Now, in some sutras, the Sthane Shashti, something may not be indicated in 6th Vibhakti. In that case, what has to be replaced? The replacement may be indicated in some other Vibhakti. This indicates this. These things are very rare, but it does happen. Okay, a sutra might not have a Shashti Vibhakti. Then there is another step. You can see that all these things are just like a high-level computer programming. Like if there's a if, then, else, all those things are used multiple times. So sometimes people, after the software boom, the people started saying Panini may have been the first and the best programmer ever.
Mahodaya, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you say Anuvritti, does it always refer refer to the previous sutra only, or could it be any sutra previously?
In most of the cases, it is previous sutras. Okay, that has come earlier. Okay, there may be exceptions. Generally, when grammar teachers speak, they never speak 100%. Yeah, always use the word mostly. Okay, that is true for the even whoever wrote the bhashyas also. Okay, so because there may be one exception somewhere in the literature may not fit that. Okay, so that's why I'm also being careful. I always use the word mostly, likely all the time.
Yes, but the question was, even when we say mostly, is
Yeah.
it mostly the immediately preceding sutra, or could it be like a sutra?
No, it doesn't have to be immediately preceding. It is likely preceding, but it may be few sutras before.
Okay, thank you.
And Panini won't say anything about that. But the Vartikakara and the Bhashyakaras are the ones who said this word has to be made or brought down in this word from this previous sutra has to be brought down to this sutra to make a good, perfect sense of this second sutra. Okay. So what we got now, all the Ashtadhyayi books or the good Ashtadhyayi books always indicate what word from which sutra will have to be anuvritti till which sutra at the end. Because some of the words are so applicable that anuvritti might extend, so 10, 20, 30 sutras. Okay. Does everybody has your yellow book handy? Ashtadhyayi Sutrapata handy?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let's take just to give you an idea of what anuvritti is. Go to page 2, where we see the very first sutra, 111. Okay. I'll give you a couple of seconds to get your book and open the right page. Okay, page number 2, the very first sutra. What is the very first sutra?
Vriddhi-radhaich.
Vriddhi-radhaich. Okay. Now this Vriddhi-radhaich, if you break the sandhi, it is made up of 3 words. Vriddhi, at, aich. Okay. We'll talk about this specific sutra in the Vriddhi sandhi. This is where it's a reference to. Okay. So I think we briefly mentioned in the pronunciation part also. Okay. So you can see that after 111 to the right, what is written on the right?
Vriddhi 3.
Okay, Vriddhi 3. That means of this Sutra 111, the word Vriddhi, not all the 3, just the word Vriddhi has to be, or it will be Anuvritti to 112 and 113 also. Okay, that is how to read that. And in 113, there is a word Iko Guna Vriddhi. Okay, so that Iko Guna Vriddhi, it just says 6. That means all the 3 words, Iko Guna Vriddhi of 113 will be Anuvritti up to 116. Okay, that is how, and let's say 1111. Okay, it's a different sutra. We may not discuss that sutra. Whereas all the other ones, yeah, most of those we will at least passingly mention. But for example, there is a reason why I take 1111. Okay, 1111 says Idu de dvivachanam pragrahyam. Okay, there, see, there is Idu de, that is 1 word. Dvivachanam, 2 words. Pragrahyam, 3 words. Okay, 3 words are there. Of these 3 words, Idu de, the first word will be Anuvritti for 112. Okay, whereas the pragrahyam, that word, you have to anuvritti all the way up to 119. Okay, so 119, to explain the sutra, you will have to mention the right, idutau cha saptamyarthe. Okay, then as an anuvritti, you have to write pragrahyam. Okay. We will look at that when we talk about the sandhi, the swara sandhi. We will have the examples of that also. So just because the word anuvritti is there, I just wanted to give an example. Okay. Everybody clear about anuvritti?
Not really, Jagdishaji. Can you repeat that again?
Okay. Anuvritti are certain words from a previous sutra which are carried on to a later sutra. Okay. Sutra, I may not be mentioning that, but you have to take those some words to make the perfect sense of that latter sutra. Okay.
What is this book you're talking about?
This is Ashtadhyayi Sutra Patha.
Oh, okay. I don't have that. I was wondering.
So, Jagdish,
Okay.
Can you
so that I
show?
understand. So, Vriddhihi is in the first 111 sutra.
Yeah.
So, Vriddhihi says 3. So, it's going to be repeated in 112 and 113.
Yes. So
And
to
it's going to
make
be repeated in the same location, Vriddhihi Adeng Gunaha in 112.
no. Generally, when you write the sutra, you write Adem Gunaha and then put some indication. Okay, Adem Gunaha, and then put a period for 112, and then put either in parentheses or with some special color or something. You write Vriddhi or Vriddhihi. Okay, you will see the
Can
examples
you show
of
it
that.
on the screen?
Yeah, right now, okay. Because you asked, I will show an example of that. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, we are coming to this slide much later. Okay, just because you asked, I will show you. Okay, so there is, you look at line 12 here.
Yes.
Okay, 61101 is the sutra for Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. Everybody has heard the word Savarna Dirgha Sandhi, right? That is where Veda plus Anta become Vedānta. Okay,
Yeah.
Dirgha Sandhi. Now that sutra that controls Savarna Dirgha Sandhi, that sutra, if you look at 61101 in the book, okay,
61101.
101.
Okay.
In the book, it says Akaha Savarne Dirgaha. That is all. Okay. Akaha Savarne Dirgaha. The one in here.
Okay.
So I gave the color codes, but see what I wrote afterwards. In the parentheses, I wrote with the tilde, Purva Parayoho Yekaha Achi. All the three, these 4 words, okay, Purva Parayoho Yekaha Achi Samhitayam. Those are not part of 61101, okay, but they are borrowed from some previous sutras. Okay, so that has come somewhere earlier.
Is that previous sutra Aka 107 and Dirga 106?
107.
Man. So this is
No.
Because it's giving as Anuvriddhi, right?
Yeah, it is Anuvritti means it will have appeared in the some sutra before.
Or some sutra before.
Before, then only it can come down. Unless you write something on the top line, you can't put a comma or ditto in the line below, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Anuvritti is the same sense of ditto.
So how do you know here, Jagdishji, that this is an anvaya-racanā and it is? So how do you come to that conclusion from Aka Savarna Dirgha?
If you look at the sutra says Akaha Savarna Dirgaha. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this goes back to 6184.
Okay. Whichever.
Ekaha.
Okay. Yeah. Purva Parayoho Ekaha. Okay. So those 2 words are borrowed from 6184.
Okay.
Okay. And then Achi from something else. Somewhere else, there is a word Achi.
Achi is in
From
6177.
6177.
Yes.
Okay. You see that? How farther back it is? Okay. So 6177, that Achi means if a vowel follows. That's all it says. Achi means 7th vibhakti. That means because it's shown in red color, means if a vowel follows. Okay, ach is a vowel. Achi is seventh vibhakti. Seventh vibhakti indicates if it follows. Okay, so you can immediately say achi means if ach follows, means if it is followed by a vowel. Okay.
Samhitayam also goes up 6172 goes up to 158.
Now what is that? See, Samhitayam, I didn't make it in red. What does that mean? It is seventh vibhakti still, but it didn't make it in red. Why did I do that?
Because it is obvious.
No, because it is Viṣṇu-sahasra-nāma.
Oh.
Okay, because Samhitayam means in the topic of sandhi. Sandhi, Panini uses the word samhita for sandhi. I mentioned earlier. Okay, so it is Viṣṇu-sahasra-nāma. It's a topic. It is not that it's followed. Okay, that's not the word like samhita will not follow in any sutra. Okay, samhita means
not exception that we saw earlier.
Which one?
I mean, it's the normal vibhakti.
Yeah, this is the normal vibhakti. That is why I didn't show it in red. Okay, this is the normal use of seventh vibhakti. Samhitayam, in the topic of sandhi. In the topic of samhita. Okay. So to indicate that clarification in the previous slide, I went to that detail that there is something called parasaptami used only in the sutras, and there is a general adhikarana saptami which is used everywhere, including the sutras. Okay, we have to be able to make the distinction between when is which is what, and to make our job easy, the textbooks come up with that already. Okay, or the tikakara and bhashakaras have made it easier for us. Okay, so I generally I follow, I think Medhaji also in her books, textbooks, she uses the same notation as a tilde. Okay, so whenever I try to remember that this tilde means whatever comes after that is anuvritti. Okay, I may use a parenthesis or may not use a parenthesis, but I do use tilde to separate the actual content of the sutra before the tilde and the words of anuvritti which come after. Okay, so I came to this slide only to show you an example of anuvritti and sutra. Okay, so sutra here is akasavarne dirgaha. What is written here is the sutra akasavarne dirgaha. Okay, this is the controlling sutra for savarna dirgha sandhi. Okay, and above that I put all the color coding so that you can understand, and then also gave the words that came from anuvritti. Okay, and when you put the word that came from the anuvritti and the actual words of the sutra, then you can make a sentence which explains the process happening during the sandhi. Okay, like for example, akaha savarne dirgaha means if the ak follows, okay, I won't look, okay, ak. If the ak is followed by a savarna, another letter of the same kind, the replacement is dirgha because it's used in prathama vibhakti. Okay, dirgha is the replacement. Replacement for what? Nothing is shown in sixth vibhakti in the sutra, right? So the next word, anuvritti says, purva parayoho ekaha. Purva parayoho, for the purva varna, ak, as well as its savarna, for both of them together will be replaced by a single ekaha dirgaha. Okay, whenever you have the same vibhakti, you have to put them together as visheshana vishesha. Make sense?
One question actually. How did you get this purva parayoho ekaha? Where is that coming from?
Purva parayoho ekaha, we just now said, somebody said it is 6184.
No, but why did you choose that 6184?
Somebody else chose it for us, our teachers. Okay, the bhashakaras chose it because otherwise, okay, let's look at that. Your question, very valid question. Okay, now suppose this is not there. Okay, akaha savarne dirgaha. So there is nothing shown in sixth vibhakti. Okay, so dirgha is a replacement. Question comes, replacement for what? Nothing is shown in sixth vibhakti. What will I replace? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then this savarne achi. Okay, like another vowel of the same kind. Okay, and purva parayoho ekaha dirghaha. Okay, you replace, even if there are two dirghas, you replace by single dirgha. It makes sense. Now, suppose the anuvritti is not there. Akasavarne dirgha doesn't make sense because there is nothing shown in 6th vibhakti.
The book does not have this anuvrittis, is it? Because I am holding the book, it shows 107 and 106, which are later on. But the it should come
Which
before.
book you are looking at?
The Ashtadhyayi Sutra Pāṭha, the yellow colored book.
Okay, Ashtadhyayi Sutra Pāṭha. Which one you are looking at?
3rd edition.
Okay. No. You are looking at Sutra 61101, right?
Yes.
Okay. It says Akasavarne dirghaha.
Yeah.
Okay.
After that, it says Akka 107 and Dirghas 106.
Okay, what does that mean, you think?
107th is Ami Purvaha.
Okay, no. What it means is, from the Sutra 61101, okay? From the Sutra 61101, the word akaha will have to be detoured all the way up to Sutra 61107.
I see.
Okay? So, this is the anuvritti borrowed from Sutra 101.
I see.
These two words will go further. This will go all the way till the end. The words will be borrowed from a previous sutra, and that sutra might have some word which will be borrowed by some other later sutras. So this is that case.
But what we need to understand Akka, Savarna, Dirgha is how to interpret Akka and Savarna and Dirgha.
Yeah,
that should be previous link. That should be backward link, not forward link.
Yeah, this is backward link only. For understanding 61101, you don't need the Akaha 107 and Dirghaha 106 is not needed. To understand the Sutra 61107, then you need this Akaha. You have to take this Akaha because 107 does not have the word Akaha. It has Ami Purvaha. So you have to borrow Akaha from this 101. Otherwise, 107 will not make sense.
Yeah, then that part I understood. But my question is, how is Akka of someone? Where does this Purva Paraya Eka comes from? It's not listed in their book, so I have to find out where it is written.
No, Purva Paraya Ekaha is there in 6184.
But how do you? Oh, so you have to know that 6184 connects to 111.
Yeah, because what does it say? Ekaha Purva Parayoho goes from 84 all the way up to 111.
111. Okay.
That means all the sutras. You can see that just before 111, 6184, what is written in the parenthesis?
Ekaśeṣa
Prakaranam. Okay. Yeah. So this means this whole section here is about single replacement for double words. Okay. That is the reason why Ekaha Purva Parayoho has such a wide span. Okay. 84, 16 plus 11, 27 sutras will borrow Ekaha Purva Parayoho in all of those up to 111.
Understood. Thank you.
Understood?
Thank you. Yeah,
okay.
Thank you very much.
Did everybody clear about this anuvritti? It will be clearer when we use it in the sutra. Okay. Right now, I'm just giving the concept. Like I was saying,
I'm kind of lost because I don't have the book. Where would I get the book? In the bookstore?
Yeah, this is a yellow book. You know, if you have access to Harsha Vidya and if you live nearby here, you can buy it from Harsha Vidya bookstore. But there's a PDF of this is available in the main drive. In the
Jagdishji, Vipul and Shukan both are lost too. They are saying that what is this sutra? And now it is all coming to me how to explain them. And I don't even know how to explain them sutras.
Okay, you don't have to worry about this sutra. This sutra, I came to this page only to show you the concept of anuvritti. Anuvritti means borrowing some words from the previous sutra. That is the meaning of anuvritti.
So if you don't have the book, is there also online?
Yeah, we have placed the PDF of the book in the drive, in the main drive.
Oh, okay. So it will be the same name.
No,
It
but
is the same
Jagdish,
name,
what-
and if you look at it, the front cover is the same. That is why sometimes I say yellow book. This is a yellow cover.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
What is the
It's
name of
also
the book?
available. It's also available on Amazon. Both Dhatu Kosh and Ashtadhyayi Sutra Pada are available on Amazon.
Oh, see. Okay. In that case, you have to go to the Arshavidya bookstore website and order from there.
Jagdish, the last is Achi 7, Sanhitam.
Yeah.
Achi 7 is Saptami. It's going to be replaced, right? So where do
No,
we get?
no.
No,
What did
okay.
we say? Saptami. Saptami is the, if it is followed
Oh,
by.
Savarna, right. Sorry. Yes, Paravarna.
Right, Paravarna.
Paranimittam.
So, an ak, if it is followed by a savarna,
Right.
both of them will be replaced.
Correct. But now Achi 7 I understand, but Achi, how did you get
Oh,
Achi?
Okay, Achi, what is ach?
Achi is all the vowel.
All the vowels.
Yeah.
And 7 means what? If
It's
follows.
followed by, yeah,
Okay.
Paravarna.
So, if something, okay, which is akka, if a ak is followed by ach,
Okay.
okay, what kind of ach? Savarne ach, ach of the same kind.
Okay.
Okay, like there is a ak. Suppose there is a ak is what? A, I, U, R, L. All of them can be ak. Okay?
Yes.
So
Yes.
if it is a a, if it is followed by another a, then only, because then it is savarna, right? A and a are savarna, same kind.
Right.
Then only it will be, both of them together will be replaced by a dirgha.
Yeah. I think
If
that
a akara followed by non-savarna ach, then this replacement will not happen.
right.
Is that clear?
Yes, it is clear. Only thing, the writing mechanism is not clear because not used to it. Because you always think equal to, or like what she says, like circle. This is like purva parayo eka, because you're talking akaha and then you're saying dirgaha. So you're like connection. So you're connecting red to achi, right?
Yeah.
And dirga to ekaha.
Yeah.
I see. And
Because
purva
dirgha is the
parayo.
replacement. That is why it is in Pratama Vibhakti.
Correct. Now I got it. Okay, I understood. Thank you.
Okay.
So Jagdish, one question. If I have to read the 112, if I have to read Sutra 112, how will I read it?
Yeah. If you have to read the Sutra 112, you just read Adhengunaha. And then look for if there is any anivrutti. Okay. What is the anuvrutti? What mentions, or the 112 comes within the range of what anuvrutti? Vriddhi.
1 vriddhi, correct.
Okay. So when you analyze the Sutra Adhengunaha, okay, then you may have to get it like Adhengunaha, then anuvrutti as vriddhi.
So where does the ditto happen?
Where?
So if I have to include vriddhi in 112, am I to include it or not?
Yes, you do.
Mahodaya, I have a basic question.
Yeah, okay. Let's do this. Let's do too much confusion because I went to this example. Okay. So as I mentioned, don't worry too much about it till we get a couple of examples. When we get a couple of worked examples, I tell all the time, this is like math. In the theory part, you might have a lot of confusion, but you do a couple of worked examples, then the things will be clearer. Okay.
Jagdishji, I have a question.
Yeah.
So in the yellow book, volume 2, the page number 42 is easy to remember this path instead of this. I mean, overview of vowel sandhi, sandhi. A plus a is equal to a.
Yeah.
That is a better way of understanding.
that is always there for working a handout, but we are looking at the mechanics of it now.
Oh my goodness. I would not. Oh my.
No, but we get confused in sutras. 61101, 61.
No, don't worry about 61101. I went to that only to show what an anuvritti. How will I show the anuvritti in the
So we don't remember the sutras, right? Because I
don't use. I don't remember the sutra either.
Okay.
This is not Ashtadhyayi class. Suddenly I'm now confused.
I don't know why people are so much worried about remembering.
So Jagdish,
Right.
this is like a dictionary, like how the words are formed and what are the rules. So you could just
Yeah,
go
we
look it up.
are looking at the rules why the words are
Yeah.
formed.
Okay, got it. Yes.
Okay. And that too, you don't have to remember the rules. Suppose you get a word.
Yeah.
Then you see that, oh, this word is made up of two words. How did the change happen? This is what we are doing here.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Like you know the word Vedānta.
Yeah.
Okay. That is made up of Veda and Anta.
Uh-huh.
You never say Vedānta. You always say Vedānta.
Right.
Okay. So Veda ends with a short A, Anta starts with a short A. But when you pronounce Vedānta, what made this A plus A to make it a long A?
Right.
What made it? This Savarna Dirgha Sandhi made it. What is this Savarna Dirgha Sandhi? What are the rules? What are the steps? That is what we are going to discuss when we come to this slide. Right now, I am on this slide just to explain only this part, anuvritti part. What do I mean by anuvritti? Anuvritti means certain words from the previous sutra is borrowed into a later sutra so that it will make full sense.
So person like we are just beginning. So we would have Vedanta up to the step 7. And then if we want to go deeper into how it happened, then we pick up the Ashtadhyayi and look up all.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So to understand deeper concepts.
But if you attend this class till the end, you will know why and how the word Vedanta came from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mahoday, a quick question.
Yeah.
Since multiple anuvrittis could be applicable for a particular sutra,
yeah,
not all of them are applicable, right? I mean, so there must be some selection done of which words from the previous sutras are going to be used here.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So which words, that also is not random. That has been written and well catalogued by the Bhāṣyakara and the Vartikakara. They did that work for us. Panini didn't write. Panini didn't say this Purva Parayoho from 6184. You have to take it as Anuvritti all the way up to whatever number, okay, 61111 or whatever number. Panini didn't say that. People who studied Panini's sutras and they thought, oh, this makes perfect sense. But let us find it which till what that follows and write it down for the future students. So that is how we got Bhāṣya and Vartika to help us.
But Mahoday, my question was not that. My question was Purva Parayoho was in 84, and it is supposed to go all the way up to 111.
Yeah.
But the point is, Purva Parayoho is not used in every sutra between 84 and 111, right? It's used in only some of them.
Yeah, most likely it's used if it is needed.
Exactly. How do we know when it is needed, when it is not?
Because
needed?
if it is not used, the sutra given, some say just for randomly says 61110. If this word Purva Parayoho is not borrowed in there, you cannot explain that. It will not make you full sense.
Okay. Got it. I see.
And suppose that is one kind of a sandhi. Okay. So 1110 sutra. Just it may not be, maybe not, but I'm just saying it kind of a sandhi. Then where you see that the Purva word and the Para word both are replaced, then this sutra doesn't use the word Purva Parayoho. So that is what when the Bhāṣyakara thought, okay, we have to borrow Purva Parayoho from the previous one because here there is replacement of 2 for 1 or 1 for 2.
Gotcha. Okay, only when needed, the anuvritti will be used.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So is it a practice of writing Sanhita Yam?
No, it's not a practice.
Okay.
What do you mean, writing?
Because I see that you have written Sanhita Yam.
Yeah, I written Samhitayam because Samhitayam also is borrowed because Samhitayam means in the topic of Sandhi.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. The reason why I didn't make it red is because it is not the parasaptami. It is not a nimitta. It is a topic. It is the general use of saptami in the topic of Samhita.
Okay. Wow. You're great.
No, I am not great. The people who are written before, okay, they said Samhita I am. Only thing I did was I put the colors appropriately so that you can put Achi and Savarne together.
Right.
Whereas Samhita I am is a topic reference. It is not Parasaptami.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the color coding really helps.
Yeah, that's what my understanding was. That's why I made these slides.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. Okay, and don't get disheartened, because once we look at 3 or 4 sandhis with the worked example, all this concept of sthana, replacement, purva nimitta, param, everything will be much more clearer when we look at a couple of sandhis. Okay, right now just keep it in mind. Okay, that these things are there. You don't have to understand everything, but it'll be clearer when we look at a couple of examples. So let me go to the presentation part. Okay, the concept of anuvritti clear now?
Yes.
Yes, yes, Mahoday.
To make a clear understanding of a sutra, you may have to borrow some words from previous sutras. Okay, those words are called anuvritti, or the process of borrowing words from the previous sutras is called anuvritti. Okay, so for everybody, the vibhakti notations is clear. Okay, there may be some doubt about the anuvritti. Okay, and these things will be clarified on when we get into the worked examples. Okay, now let's look at, I have a few more on this slide itself. Okay, everybody please listen. We have heard the word ityuchyate, right? Where did we hear that?
Bhagavad-Gītā.
Gita.
Okay. Somewhere in Bhagavad-Gītā or quite a few places in Bhagavad-Gītā.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, ityuchyate is a word. Now, even the people who haven't understood anything about Panini can kind of guess it is made up of 2 words.
Yes.
2
Iti
words.
and Yate.
Huh?
Iti uchyate. 2
Okay,
words.
iti uchyate. Let's see what I wrote. Okay, so it is made up of iti plus uchyate. Okay, till now we haven't gone into grammar yet. We just knew that there is a word called ityuchyate. It is made up of 2 words, which we know as 2 other independent words. Okay, iti and uchyate. And there's some changes that happened. Iti ends with e, uchyate starts with u. Something happened between the e and u, and we got a u. Everybody sees the difference? What changed here? We are not into grammar. We are just detecting what the change.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So far so good. Okay. I am trying, as I mentioned, I am not going by the book method. Book method gives you the sutra first, and then I can see the confused look. If you go from the sutra like this, I am going the other way. Ityuchyate. Okay, we know the word. And we also know that we have the heard word iti somewhere. We have heard the word uchyate, so they are standalone words. So in this case, the 2 words came about and some change happened. That change is a sandhi. Okay, now let's look at from our visarga, our sandhi background. Iti. Okay, sandhi happens between the last varna of the purvapada and the first varna of the parapada. So let's break that. Iti, the last letter is e. Uchyate, the first letter is u. So what is taking part in the sandhi is only this e and u. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, there is a sandhi called yan sandhi. Okay. Now, this example in this page, I brought this up only to highlight this system of 6157 vibhaktis. Okay. Don't worry about the sandhi name. I'm just bringing this to highlight the color coding and the changes. Okay, it plus E. Okay, what happened? We saw earlier, iti uchyate become yutyuchyate. The ya sound is new, right? It was not there. Ya, yakara is not there here, neither in Purvapada nor in Parapada, right?
One, in this example, Jagdish, the E in the Purvapada,
Yeah.
why is it now Panchami? Why is it Sthani?
Okay. What did the next letter say? Next line say?
Yeah. So E becomes Ya.
Okay, E becomes Ya. So what is the place of change? What changed? Into what?
Okay, so
Okay, the Ikara changed into Yakara, right?
yeah.
Agreed?
Yes.
So what is changed or what is replaced by, or let's put it the other way, Ikara is replaced by Yakara, right?
Right.
According to our convention, what is replaced by?
Sashti Vibhakti and then
Sashti
Pratama Vibhakti, right? Ya is Pratama.
Okay, Ya is Pratama. There's no confusion about it because that came in as a replacement. What is replaced by is Ikara. So isn't it right to say Ikara as the Sthani because that is the one that is being replaced?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. Then the question is a very valid question because, you know, and again, this replacement will happen only when it is followed by a U, not otherwise. Okay. So even though U remained unchanged, without its presence, this change will happen. So it will not happen. So para nimitta is necessary for the change, whether it takes active part or not. Now the question, there is a good question to ask. Okay, how come there is nothing in Panchami Vibhakti? Right? In this whole, the change happened. So next step is Ityuchyate already. Okay, if the Ikara is replaced by Yakara, everything remains as it is. If the Yuvuchyate becomes Ityuchyate. Sandhi is done. Okay, or for a final form. But you don't see any Purva Nimitta.
But there is Purva Nimitta here, right? So let me see if what I'm thinking makes sense. So
Okay.
for it to happen,
one second. Purva Nimitta means the Nimitta before the place of change. Okay. So Ikara is the place of change, right? No question about that. Ikara is the place of change because that changed into something else.
no, yes, and so just maybe my doubt is invalid. Is if it was not E there, then it would not change, right?
If it is not E, if it is something else, it will not.
So in that case, it becomes Purva Nimitta, so it's a condition, right?
No. The Purva Nimitta, for this specific Sandhi, there is no Purva Nimitta necessary because suppose, okay, now E is the place of change. So the Purva Varna is what before E, it is the T, right? T. Okay. Now, instead of Takara, if there is any other consonant also, the same change will happen.
Okay.
So there is no restriction on what has to come before Takara. So there is no Purva Nimitta. There is no rule imposed on what has to be preceded by the Sthana.
So when we say Purva Nimitta, we are referring to the Varna before the Sthani.
Before the Sthana, exactly.
Okay. I get it. Thank you.
So Purva Nimitta is the one that is occupying the place before, to the left of. Okay. Paranimitta, that comes after. Sthana is the reference point. Okay, that is why it's called Sthana. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
That is the reference point. Purva means the one before, and Para is one coming after. Is that clear now? Because this example.
Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense.
No,
See, this is not even an example. I brought this morning, I brought this from the Yand Sandhi table so that I thought, okay, when you talk about 615, let me put some colors here, give one example, okay, just to indicate the requirement of the colors, okay, not to understand the Sandhi, What sandhi is this? We're not concerned because we'll talk about that when we come to that. Okay. Here I am saying that, okay, sthana, this we have a common word. We know what that common word is made by. What is the last word and the first word? Okay, where is the reaction happening? What is the change? What is replaced? So, okay, E is replaced. Okay, then it has to be in green because it is replaced. And then Ya is the replacement. So it will be Prathama Vibhakti or purple color. Okay, just to indicate that, I copied this from the later slide into this, just to highlight that. So I think that served its purpose.
Thank you. Jagdish, thanks for your patience. Thanks for your patience in explaining this color and the vibhakti. Thank you.
Okay, there's some other question?
Yes, I have one question. That still it is that E is followed by something, then only E turns into Ya.
Yes.
So E, we can say that E is Purva-nimitta.
No, because E turns into something, that means V is the sthani. E is replaced by something, that means E is the sthani. Okay, that is why I put the sthani first. What is being replaced by is the sthani. Okay, don't look at just the plus sign. Okay, plus sign can be anywhere. What is being changed?
So
okay. What is being replaced?
Purva-nimittam, Purva is changed into Ya.
Chaya, the way I understood it, and maybe this is, the tha is the purva nimitta, not E. So the word
right
before
there is no purva nimitta here because ta is the purva varna, right?
Purva.
Okay, varna before the sthani. Because I know what Chayaji is little confused is because earlier we said in Visarga the purva varna is the one, the letter before the plus sign. Okay. So I think that is why she is thinking that E should have been blue. Okay. Sometimes a purva nimitta will not be necessary. Here there is a purva nimitta is not necessary because the change will happen whatever occupies the place before the ikara. Okay. That is, yeah. Okay, so the things will get clearer as we see more and more examples. We haven't come into any example yet. Okay, because this is just to illustrate the color code.
I'm sorry, I'm not clear this at all, because why is all the four colors do you have, sthani, adesha, all different four colors, shouldn't that go through the same process? And you're saying the purva nimittam does not apply. I don't understand that point.
Okay,
why?
Purva nimitta means if something has to be something preceded, then only change happen. That is called Purva nimitta, the cause. Okay. Now there is no cause. That is why I'm highlighting the takara here. Okay, this takara, instead of ta, even if there was something else, the same sandhi will happen. What is preceded by the sthani will not have any effect in this case.
So how does it change to yakara then? What is the rule?
The real rule is a yan sandhi rule we come across like a next 2 or 3 classes later.
Oh,
as
okay.
I said, this is not, we are not discussing the yan sandhi here. This is an example of one of the cases of yan sandhi. And just brought this up here to indicate the colors and their places. Okay, what is the sthani, what is the purva varna, what is the para varna, that thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, sandhi we will discuss. This is the part of yan sandhi. We'll because this will come in like slide 6 or 7.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So, Jagdish, if I were to think of step by step, right, for any of these, so would I first identify the sthani and then condition parapada, purvapada, and based on that say what is my, so 6, 5, 7, and then 1.
Yes, exactly. Okay. You're right. First thing to identify is the 6th.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, yeah, as I said, don't get disheartened because this will be more clear when we cover 2 or 3 sandhis. Okay, and I will give the examples of very, very commonly known sandhi word, just like ityuchyate. You have heard that somewhere else, most likely in Gita, if not somewhere else. Very common word. Okay.
So I have a
you can
question,
see-
Jagdishji.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, I know we are getting late, but when you say Prathama Vibhakti, the E is the sixth Vibhakti, sixth is replaced by the Prathama Vibhakti here.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So the year is the Prathama Vibhakti. Is it in the Subantam that you, because I have memorized this Subantam, it's not connecting.
Good. Yeah, good question. Okay. Yeah, we will look at that. We will look at that in the next sandhi. We will start with the end sandhi and then go with the Savarna Dirgha sandhi.
Okay, because
Your
I have
question will
memorized
be
this
answered.
Subantam. Fine, no problem.
Okay, your question will be answered. Okay,
Thank you.
what I mean by Panchami Vibhakti and what I mean by Saptami Vibhakti. Okay, and how will it appear in the sutra? And what is that relationship between the Marut Shabda and the Rama Shabda? All those things we'll discuss when we come into one specific sandhi example, which we haven't come yet. Right now we are talking about the conventions followed by Panini.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, what is the time? Oh, 10 minutes already. Okay, let's stop.
Could I say one thing?
Yeah.
That in Anuvritti,
Hmm.
like when we write research papers, there are 1,000 references. And then in the car, when the temperature goes high, then you try to relate why did the temperature go up? Oh, the pressure was high. Then you say, look to the reference 672, there is a relation between pressure and temperature. Why there is a relation? Well, look into 500 reference. There's a Boyle's law. So you can trace it back more and more as
Yeah.
you probe. That's it.
Okay, let's do the prayers. Yeah, again, don't, we haven't covered any of the sandhi. So we haven't used this procedure. We talked about the different conventions or special uses Panini used. We haven't used in any of them. So there is no wonder you haven't understood. So when we use it when we discuss next couple of classes, 2 or 3 very well known sandhis, common examples, then all this 6th vibhakti, 7th vibhakti, that will make sense at that time. Okay. So this is still the first step, and I don't expect you to clearly understand all the things discussed today, because once we discuss a couple of examples, then it will be clear. Okay?
Okay, Jagdishji, I have to say that I got it. I understood. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's do the prayer on that note. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Masoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Namadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Shivaratri.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Shivaratri.
Maybe one question, can I ask?
Anybody has questions, you can stay back. I don't have anything after this. Go ahead.
One question. I'm looking at the Ashtadhyayi Sutra Pataha, and it starts by saying Atha Prathamo Dhyayaha with the Avagraha. And then when it ends, it says Prathama Dhyayasya.
Okay.
So
Is that
the question is should it be Prathamo Dhyayasya? Why is it Prathama Dhyayasya?
Okay, good question. But now Ataha Pratama Dhyayaha is Ataha Pratamaha Adhyayaha. So there are 3 words there, okay?
Right.
In Pratamodhyayaha, Pratamodhyayaha is made up of 2 words. Pratamaha, Visarga, then Adhyayaha. Shivoham Sandhi happens. You get Pratamodhyayaha. Okay? Clear?
Clear.
Now, why didn't that happen in the conclusion? Okay. That is because there is a samasa. That is not 2 separate words there.
Okay.
Okay, that is one word. Prathamadhyaya is one word. You can't break it. It is a samasa.
Okay.
It is just like saying Paramaha, Ishwaraha, Parameshwaraha. Can you write it as separate words? You cannot.
No. Okay.
Okay, because Pratamaha Adhyaya is made up of a samasa. And I mentioned earlier also, sandhis can be broken, but samasa should not be broken when you do padacheda of the verses.
Okay.
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 What samasa is that? What does it mean? That will be covered in book 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Hari Om.
You.
Anybody else? Any questions?
No, it just like what it was so quick. Prathamodhyayaha is Prathamaha plus Adhyayaha, made up of 2 words.
Yes.
But what is samasa? Prathamadhyayasya?
Okay. Samasa is too early to talk about now. Okay.
Yeah.
But there it is not Pratamaha plus Adhyayaha. That is what happens there is Pratama plus Adhyaya combines. Okay. No, Atha is a separate word anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So in the Prathamadhyayaha, there's a Prathama plus Adhyaya combined by meaning.
Okay.
Okay. The Adhyaya that came first, or the first one.
And Prathama is without the Prathama is with the dots, 2 dots, or no?
Yeah, without the 2 dots, right? It is Prathama,
okay.
that's it, plus Adhyaya, and the Sandhi happens, Prathama Adhyaya, A plus A becoming A.
So do you have a pratipadika? You're using the pratipadika for samasa?
Right, in the samasa, it is always between pratipadikas, that is why. Okay, in samasa, the Purvapada has to be pratipadika. There's a sutra saying that samasas, you have to strip out the vibhakti ending. Pratamaha, the vibhakti, the visarga came because of the Pratama vibhakti. Okay, Pratamodhyayaha, Pratamaha, that visarga came because of the Pratama vibhakti. But when you are making the samasa, you have to first strip off all the vibhaktis. This is like making an electric connection. You have to take the insulation out first, otherwise electricity won't flow.
So it's of only the Purvapada.
No. Actually, the step is you have to strip the vibhaktis of both. There is a reason why. Okay, strip the vibhaktis of both. Combine the pratipadikas. If any sandhis that has to be made between the pratipadikas, make that sandhis, and then you get a new pratipadika.
Okay.
Okay, the new pratipadika. The question comes. Suppose Purvapada is Pullinga, Parapada is Strilinga, and then the Purvapada is Pullinga and Uttarapada is Strilinga. What will be the linga of the Samaskrapada?
I thought Dvandva Pada it will be Pullinga.
No, there is no rule like that. Okay? The rules are different. There are different kinds of samasas. In some samasas, the linga of the Uttarapada will decide the linga of the samasa. And sometimes it is totally different. It may not depend on either of the words. It might depend on the meaning. Okay, let me give you an example. You have the word Pitambaraha.
Yes.
Who is Pitambaraha?
Pitambaraha Krishna.
Krishna. Why?
Pitaha Ambaraha. Why? Because he wears yellow clothes.
Okay. Now, Pitam is not Pitam. Pitaha, it is Pitam. What gender is Pitam?
Pitam is neuter.
Neuter. Ambaram, cloth. What gender is that?
Cloth is also neuter.
Neuter. Then how come Krishna Pitambaraha became Pullinga?
It is relating to a first vibhakti, Pratama vibhakti.
No.
It is the name of a Pratama vibhakti.
No, vibhakti has nothing. No, we are talking about only linga now, gender.
Oh, gender.
If the Purvapada is Napumsakalinga and Uttarapada is Napumsakalinga, how did the resultant word became a Pullinga?
Because it's applied to Krishna.
It is applied to the Krishna. So the resultant gender of the resulting word has nothing to do with the Purvapada gender or Parapada gender. That's what I'm saying. Okay. In some cases it does. Certain kind of vibhaktis it does. Okay. But Pitambaraha is what is called a Bahuri Samasa, where the gender doesn't depend on Purvapada or Uttarapada.
In Karmadharaya, I think both of us has to be.
In Karmadharaya, it depends on the Parapada because it's the Tatpurusha Samasa. the gender of the Uttarapada will be the gender of the Samasapada. Okay?
Just one other clarity. I just wanted to understand, I understood right. Prathamodhyayaha is two words, Prathamaha and Adhyaya. But
yes,
the bottom here, Prathamadhyayasya, that's a samasa where Prathama is a pratipadikam, Adhyaya is a word, noun.
Yeah.
And then it's a samasa, that's why it becomes Prathamadhyaya.
Prathamadhyaya. And then the vibhakti is added to the after the samasa is made because of the use.
Sya means
Sya is added later of the Prathamadhyaya.
Correct, correct. Very good. Do you teach Panini as well? I just was wondering.
Do you
teach, like, do you separate classes for Panini? Like, I know you.
No, I don't, because for reading Panini you have to have the Panini grammar. There's Kalpesh is teaching more depth into the grammar, but this course may be a prerequisite for that. You should know something about before getting into the Paninian one. No, I don't teach.
Oh, you don't, because you're so clear. Wow, you're so clean. Very nice. I really enjoyed learning from you.
Hope more people think so.
Jagdish, one of the questions.
You are awesome, actually.
Yeah, you are.
I had a question for you, Jagdish. Not a question, a request. Can you teach us how to use Ashtadhyayi sometime? Because I've always had trouble with how to use it.
I think we will do this as we go.
Okay.
Okay. So that is why I'm saying during the class, have this Ashtadhyayi and Dhatu Kosha right by your side.
Yeah.
Okay. See, one use we did already now. We now know how to read Anuvrittis.
Well, I didn't get it. I didn't have Ashtadhyayi in front of me. I have to buy the book. I don't have that book.
Yeah, that is why even before the classes begin, I said that these 3 textbooks, you buy volume 2 books first, and those 2 other things. Okay, Dhatu Kosha and this Ashtadhyayi, buy those. Even the volume 1 and volume 3 we can buy later because we are going to get into after a few weeks. Okay. But even in the book 2, we might, here and there, we might refer to the Dhatu Kosha and the Ashtadhyayi. That's why I said by those things, those 2 books in the beginning itself. So, after the pronunciation thing, we might look into this once in a while.
Your PDF is very helpful. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So,
I think the book will be a good investment,
Find it, I think. They're saying in the
book is a good investment, not only for this class. Even if you, after completing the class, suppose you are attending a camp and then Swami TV says something about some dhatu or some sutra, you can always go, oh, this is what he mentioned. Okay, this is okay, or some dhatu. This dhatu happened for this. So you can go to the dhatu kosha. Oh, this is the meaning. Okay. So this Sutrapata and Dhatu Kosha, those are like dictionaries. They are useful not only for these 3 Medas books. They are useful even non-grammar users.
Yes.
Mahoday, quick question.
Yeah.
When you say that Shashti used for sthane, can it apply to more than one varna, or is it always a single word?
In the case of Sandhi, it is the single word. Okay. But later on, when we go into some other, like in the book 3, Tana means something that undergoes change. So it doesn't, here in the case of Sandhi, it is the last word. Okay, it can be something else also. It may be the whole word sometimes. Suppose the whole word is replaced. Okay, or 2 or 3 letters together are replaced. That happens later on.
Okay, got it.
When we are talking about Kriya Padas, okay, and that combination, maybe a part of the word, 2 or 3 syllables may be replaced by something else. Then those 2 or 3 syllables are collectively called sthani.
I see. Got it. And collectively for those, it will be Shashti Vibhakti.
Right. Okay. So here in the case of Sandhi, we talked about Sandhi because Sandhi we are talked about only we are concerned only about the last letter and the first letter, Purva Varna and Paravarna. Rest of the
Right.
word doesn't take part in Sandhi. So here we can say Sthani is this one Varna. It may be on the Purva or on the Para. This is what going to change. Okay?
Got it. Thank you so much.
No problem.
One other thing is your presentation had a third vibhakti. We didn't talk about it, right?
Yeah, third vibhakti is very rare. It, as far as I know, it appeared only in two cases or two sutras, and it's very, very simple. Okay, so we'll talk about that. That doesn't come in the Swara Sandhi; it comes in the Vyanjana Sandhi. And that I will mention. This is the only case where Panini used the Tritiya vibhakti in a non-general sense.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So remember 1, 4, 5, or 1, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very. Yeah. Thank you.
Jagdish Mahoday, one quick question. Do we have sutras for Visarga Sandhi also, like Ach Sandhi?
Yes, see, I mentioned this several times during the Visarga Sandhi. In the Visarga Sandhi, it is not one sutra from the starting step to the final result. It is not one. It is generally common in some of the Visarga Sandhis, like Shivoham Sandhi, is I think it's a 5-step process. And when in the Paninian grammar, when we say 5-step, that means there are 5 sutras for each step. Okay, that is the reason why Medhaji also and me too, we didn't bring in Panini Sutras in the Visarga Sandhi. If we have to study Panini Sutra, the Visarga Sandhi also with reference to Panini Sutra, then we have to cover the Swara and Vyanjana Sandhi first and then go to Visarga Sandhi, because Visarga Sandhi is more involved.
Okay, got it, Mahoday.
We kind of oversimplified. We say if the Purvapada ends with A, Parapada starts with any vowel, then this happens. Okay, why that happens? That process, why that happens, is 4 or 5 processes, where 2 of the processes may be to do with the Swara Sandhi, 2 of the processes may be do with the Vyanjana Sandhi, and one of the process may be a totally different sutra.
Thank you, Mahoday. Yeah, you mentioned that. So I forgot about it. Like, I was curious.
Yeah, that is why, I didn't leave that totally out. Then I said, for those, if there is enough interest,
Sutraholics. I remember Sutraholics.
Sutraholics, then we can go after both the Swara and Vyanjana Sandhis are covered. Then we can go to the Visarga Sandhi and then see, okay, these are the 4 steps in the Shivoham Sandhi, even though we kind of oversimplify, said A plus Visarga plus A equals O, Avagraha.
Got it. Maybe we should do that, Mahoday. Maybe 1 or 2 classes just for the get excited about.
Yeah, I can do that. See, my only thing I didn't do that, and it's not right thing to do also, because the people will get disheartened if we do the Visarga Sandhi on the sutra basis without covering Swara and Vyanjana Sandhi. And even after that, if there is enough number of people, then we can do that. And even otherwise, what we can do is maybe we will have 1 or 2 classes for the Visarga Sandhi at the end for only those who are interested in knowing the step-by-step of each of the Visarga Sandhi we discussed, so that it doesn't discourage others.
Yeah, that is true. I think most of them may be very interested, because the way we are going the sutra right now, we are covering very detail about this. Then I think by the time we complete Ach Sandhi and Vyanjana Sandhi, maybe everyone will comfortable with sutras and.
Yeah, see, you have to get to that stage. You should be comfortable with analyzing the sutra. Then studying the Visarga Sandhi makes good sense and will interest you.
Okay, that makes sense, Mahoday. Thank you, Mahoday.
Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you.